Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to open up your browser and go to www.alvas.net. And as you can see here, we see the link for Alvas.Audio. Let me tell you a little bit about Alvas.Audio. Alvas.Audio is a C# audio library that enables C# and VB.NET developers to add audio capabilities to different .NET applications. The library allows C# and VB.NET developers to create applications that play, including mix sound, record and convert uncompressed or compressed audio data. You can encode and decode dialogic.vox format data. Open up Visual Studio and set a reference to the Alvas.Audio library. Now that we've set the reference, let's go ahead and open up our form. And let's look at our form. Our form, Convert MP3 to Wav, contains 2 text boxes, 2 labels, and 3 buttons. Now we want to look at the click event behind our first button, and our first button is going to set the location of our first MP3 file. And we're looking at the load audio file. Okay, load audio file 1 basically just opens up an open file dialog, shows the dialog to the user, and allows you to select the MP3 file, or the file in this case is going to be the MP3 file that we're going to use in this conversion process. Let's go back to the form and we'll look at our second button. Now our second button is actually going to set the output file name. So it's going to call, on the click event, it's going to call the set output file name method. And in this method, we're simply opening up our folder browser dialog object, and we're going to set that to our new file name. Okay, so we're going to grab the file name that we set with TXT Audio 1. We're going to take that file and we're going to get the file without the extension. Okay, and we're going to use that for our file name. Now let's go to the Convert to Wav button, and we're going to call the Convert MP3 to Wav. Now the first line of this method, we're using a file stream object called ofile1, and we're going to open up a file using an open read method, passing in the TXT audio 1.text property where we initially set it up on our form, to when we're passing in the name or the actual location, the path file of our MP3 file. And next, we're going to use an Alvas.Audio MP3 reader object called OMP3 reader. And we're going to pass in the file stream object. Next, we're going to set a pointer called original audio format. And we're going to use the OMP3 reader to read that format, the read format method. And that's going to store the original format, a pointer of the original format of our MP3 file. Next, we're going to create a byte array called MP3 reader data. And we're going to read the data from the OMP3 reader object, calling the read data method. And next, we're going to simply close the OMP3 reader object. Next, we're going to grab the WAV format. Okay, we're setting up a pointer called WAV format, and we're going to use the Alvas.Audio audio compression manager to get the compatible format. On the next line, we're going to create an Alvas.Audio ACM converter called OACM converter. And we're going to pass in the original audio format along with the WAV format, okay, to derive of the ACM, or in this case, the OACM converter. Next, we're going to use a file stream, or we're going to set up a file stream called output file. And now this output file we're going to create to the destination path that we set up on our form. And that path is contained within the text property of the txt output file name text box. On the next line, we're going to use an Alvas.Audio wave writer object called OWaveWriter. And we're going to pass in the output file name and the Alvas.Audio compression manager format bytes. And we're going to format the bytes of the WAV format. Okay? Now that WAV format, remember, is a pointer to the compatibility between the original format and our new format, in this case, which is WAV or PCM format. Now our next line, we're going to create a byte array called WAV data, and WAV data is going to contain the MP3 reader data that's being converted by our OACM converter object. Okay, so we're calling OACM converter .convert method and passing in the MP3 reader data. Next, we're using the OWaveWriter object to write data, and that data that we're writing is the WAV data. And remember, our WAV data is the byte array, okay, from the previous line, where we utilize the OACM converter .convert method. On our last line, we simply close the OWaveWriter object, and at this point, our MP3 file has been successfully converted to a WAV file using the Alvas.Audio component library. Now we're going to fire up our debugger, and we're going to actually see our application in action. Let's go ahead and minimize Visual Studio, and let's click on the first button to actually select our MP3 file. And let's select, let's see, we're going to select the Drone Blissful Peaceful MP3. Next, we want to set the output destination, which in this case is going to be the desktop. You can see that we took the original MP3 file, which was called Drone Blissful Peaceful, and we basically removed the MP3 file extension and we concatenate that with Convert to Wave. Let's go ahead and click on Convert to Wave button. We're going to get the Alvas.Audio trial version reminder dialog. And this is just reminding us that we need to purchase a valid copy of the Alvas.Audio library. Now, our process is complete. And we have our new WAV file. And let's listen to the new WAV file. Sounds great. So head on over to www.alvas.net. Download the Alvas.Audio component library, and I think you'll be very satisfied with how it performs, what it enables you to do with audio, and you'll be able to implement this into your next audio project. This is Michael Thompson with Play Heavy Incorporated. Stay tuned for the next video in this series, where I show you how to take a WAV file and convert it to an MP3 file using the Alvas.Audio library from Alvas.net. Have a great day, and by the way, leave me a comment.